Hey everyone, I hope you're doing fine. How's your summer going? Mine is pretty good. Working, nothing new. Enjoying the two classes that I'm taking this summer and, getting to the tail end of the semester one course. So, excited to have everything finished up and hopefully hoping to complete the semester with pretty good grades. Um, Today I'm discussing the composer project or the research that I did on my chosen composer. The one that I chose to focus on is Tan Dun. Um, Immediately when I saw the list of composers, his name really jumped out at me because I have a really big fascination with Asian culture. I've always loved the just anything dealing with the culture, the food, the religion. So I was really drawn and interested, and I was very happy that I did. I listened to one of his works, from what I read, one of his more recent works, called the Internet Symphony Eroica. Super cool song. Very happy that I chose it. Love the music. Love Chinese, Japanese, anything Asian sounding songs because it just sounds so different. It sounds. I can't, the best way that I can describe it is just you don't hear it every day, at least obviously here in the Western part of the world. But really, really enjoyed it. Love the use of percussion. This was a large ensemble, orchestra, brass, and percussion. It's just the use of it was really super cool. Really loved it. It's very modern sounding, from what I can tell. Major chord. Um, Again, very very cool. And I sorry for you keep using the word cool, but it's just the best way that I can describe. Very enjoyable. I also did hear another piece from him, something with water, and forgive me, I forget the name, but again, very very similar. And again, I think it has to do with the use of percussion. It just sounds majestic. It sounds something out of this world, right? It's not something that I hear on a day to day basis. Really really enjoyed it. Um, as I did some research on him, found out a lot of things that I didn't know. First off, um, growing up, he planted rice in a commune. He grew up in a time when there was a lot of restrictions when it came to culture. His work was criticized. It was seen as being offensive spiritually. Um, but he's been recognized. He's been recognized. He's received some very, very high praise and awards that I'll talk about here in a little bit. But first, he used to plant rice when he was young. Eventually, at the age of 19, he joined the Central Conservatory of Music, and then there, along with his fellow classmates, he was there were some there were, at the time, there were restrictions with the culture and in China. So once those some of those restrictions were lifted, that's when him and his friends were able to discover a lot more a wider range of music um, that was formerly suppressed in the 20th century, including classical music, including music from the western part of the world. So they were able to discover this, and that really inspired him to broaden his talent and his mind and his understanding of what was out there. Because previous to that, lots of suppression going on. Um, he went to he was part of the Cultural Revolution. Um, I'm sorry, the Central Conservatory of Music, and then he eventually ended up in New York and completed his studies in Columbia University. Later in life, like I mentioned earlier, he was recognized for his work. One of his most notable, and probably his most notable, is he in 2001 he received an Oscar for scoring the movie Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. And it's interesting because, as I mentioned, I'm fascinated by any and all Asian culture, including movies. And so Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, at the time, loved it. I was, you know, obsessed with it. So I had no idea. So it's really cool to find out that he actually wrote the score and I mean, received an Academy Award. Growing up, he described himself as being inspired by nature, by Chinese philosophy, by his childhood memories. He took a lot of inspiration from just his environment, which again, when I hear his music and you hear the percussion, it does have that earthy nature sound. Probably one of my favorite parts of it. And then some of his most significant recent works include Symphony in 1977, an opera called Tea, a Mirror of Sun. Something that was very cool is that in the 2008 Beijing Olympic Games, he actually wrote ceremonial music for the opening. I mean, my gosh, that's amazing. And then in 2020, he was appointed as the cultural ambassador for the World Expo. And I'm sorry, that was in 2010. Again, overall, had a great time learning about him and learning about his work. I actually plan on listening to his music even in my downtime, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. Enjoyed learning about him, and speaking about him, and really got a good appreciation. So I hope you enjoy the link that I'll provide, and take care. Thank you.